Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco and Kyle.
Yes, sir.
You and listeners to our previous season, and even now, maybe this will be the first time I mention this. I am. What's that?
5 stars for Spar.
Oh, 5 stars for Spar. Thank you. So I am the woman that I'm related to by marriage. My spouse, who I love.
Who wishes she could not be named.
Yes, I love her tremendously. She is a first-generation American, born and raised in Arizona, in the United States of America. Her parents were immigrants from China. So, as you can imagine, coming together, this has always been, ever since we were dating and our relationship and being married, it's been a great and beautiful melding of cultures, right? Like, we have that. But one of the things that I have always, that has happened is that there have been times where I have been in the room with Margie and her siblings, or, her mom, when her mom lived with us, or other people. And when there are things that they want to say, but they don't want me to know, they speak in Chinese, which they speak a dialect of. It's called Huizan. It's not Mandarin or Cantonese. It's a dialect that's, I think, off of Cantonese. I'm going to be wrong, and I'm going to get yelled at for this, but that's fine. But, it always used to make me laugh, because even growing up, I mean, like, if you're a descendant of recent immigrants who were bilingual or trilingual, whatever it may be, that's always a funny experience, right? Where, like, all of a sudden, the people in your household just start talking a different language, and you don't know what they're saying. And then you have to wonder, like, are you talking about me? What are you talking about? Why do I bring that up? There's some questions about what a certain person who speaks Russian is saying in the next minute.
That's right, because here we are in the bilingual minute 47 of Iron Man 2 from 2010, directed by Mr. Jon Favreau. We are coming to the end of Justin Hammer's epic monologue, and now we're going to hear what Ivan has to say. So, at the last sentence he had said was, I'll lead up to it a little bit too. So he's coming to the end of his sales pitch, and Justin Hammer says, "The only difference between you and I is that I have resources. I think, if I may," and this minute picks up with, "You need my resources. Someone behind you, a benefactor. I'd like to be that guy."
It's a pretty good pitch, I gotta say.
I've never had anyone say anything like that to me. So, like, I've got lots of ideas. Just last episode, I revolutionized the spray tan industry. And yet I'm waiting for a benefactor like Justin Hammer to show up.
If you can put aside the hands, if you can put aside the audaciousness of the airplane hangar and the dessert first, if you can also put aside, we didn't mention this, here's the other thing that's funny. Here's Justin Hammer, impeccably dressed, this incredibly ornate place setting, right? All this stuff. And he's got his napkin. He's got his napkin just tucked in the collar of his shirt.
Yep.
I mean, it just is all the whole thing.
He's imported organic ice cream, so he doesn't want to get it on his nice suit.
Seriously. Anyway, it just makes me laugh.
So Ivan then responds. So, like, Ivan then has been listening to all this stuff, understanding all of it, because we know that Ivan speaks perfect English, understands perfect English at this point. It has gotten that. And so he says something in Russian, and he rattles it off very quickly. And Justin Hammer looks at him, shakes his head like, okay, like, I know. So there's a little story that goes along with this. So Mickey Rourke wanted to learn Russian, so he had a Russian coach. Like, he wanted to make sure that his Russian sounded authentic, and so he wanted to have it be and so he worked on it. So he found this particular phrase, and he wanted to have this in it. And so he said it in the movie and worked really hard to nail every syllable and get it right, because he thought this was important. And Favreau cut it. He cut the line in half. And so Mickey Rourke, like, at the actors showing when they first did it, came to him and like, "You got to put it back. I worked really, really hard on that line. That line is important. It needs to be in the movie. You have to put it back in the movie." And Jon Favreau went, oh, if this means that much to you, okay. And it was actually the last change they made before they locked the movie, was putting it back in.
Wow. So
the concession to it was the second half of the line, as you see when it goes, plays over Justin's reaction. So, like, it's as opposed to just one 20-second, whatever it is, thing rattling off Russian where there's no subtitles. And so that's the part of the thing, is you didn't want the audience to be confused. So this is a filmmaking trick. You have somebody say something in another language, you don't get subtitles because the person in the other half of the conversation is confused. So you want the audience to be confused too, because we're with Justin in this. Like, what is going on with this guy? So what he says is, if I get killed, do not wake me. It is better to die than to live in your world.
Yikes.
That is so good. Because he knows not one person in that room is going to be able to understand what he just said. Like, just showing his loathing for everything Justin stands for. And in a way that he has no idea. He's like, I'm going to take you for all you're worth. I'm going to...
Right.
You are about to get hosed on this deal, but sure, let's be pals. If I get killed, do not wake me. It is better to die than to live in your world.
Now, isn't that okay? But now I find that an interesting line, though, in that if I get killed, so if I get killed, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Do not wake me. Well, you're not going to be able to wake me if I'm dead.
I think it's poetic.
Oh, I was being very... what am I doing? Being a literalist. You know what? I see. Now that's funny because when I saw it, I found that too in the research, and I was like, wow, is he trying to say with all this technology, if something happens to me, don't try and save me? Like, because my path's already been taken. Like, that's what I took that to mean, quite literally, right? And then his emphasis on it is, because I want to die than rather live in this world of your unabashed wealth and extravagance and stuff like that. So, I mean, to me, it all makes sense. It's poetic and literal.
It's class warfare. I mean, like,
yes.
It really is like, this is the have-nots and the haves. Like,
exactly.
I hate everything about you. I hate everything you stand for. But
wow, I mean,
sure, let's be pals.
Can I just tell you? I mean, dude, are you not impressed? Minute 47. Look at the deep character arcs that we have in this movie.
These are two seasoned actors who took the time to really do their homework. Like,
this is incredible.
From the spray tan to the Russian epithet. Like,
yes.
These guys like took their time and they made it like, dude, serious. Like, these are well developed characters.
Aren't you having a blast so far? This is amazing.
I wouldn't say a blast because I know what's coming.
Oh, dang it. Come on.
But I do not fault Sam Rockwell or Mickey Rourke at all in this. Like, I like they are doing their best, and Mickey Rourke apparently is not pleased with the cut of the movie as well. He thinks most of his best stuff got sliced up and dropped on the editing room floor.
Well, you know what I have to say to you about that?
What?
Very good, man. Very good.
Very good. Because Justin then is saying, okay, do you speak English? Because I can get a translator.
Yeah, dude.
Have you been understanding everything I'm saying? And of course, I could probably answer him in perfect English. Instead, chooses to play the role of like, I barely understand English at all. Very good, man. So he's not saying he's a very good man. From what it's very good, man.
Comma. The importance of commas.
Right. Very good, man. Like, okay, we have a deal. And so Justin repeats a very good man. Ivan says very good man. And then they toast. So I love it. Ivan grabs the bottle and clinks against Justin's, I think, water glass or wine glass.
Yes, water glass.
Yeah. So that's what they do. It's very bad luck to toast with water, and so we'll see how that's going to play out.
Oh, what a great pull on that. Right? Yes, this is true. Okay, now I also think it was funny is earlier on in the previous minute when the attendees first came up to him, they were pouring red wine. Mm-hmm. And we couldn't tell. There was no way to tell what kind of wine it was, or else we would have talked about that. But they were pouring red wine. And then I love when they come to toast, all of a sudden he's got vodka.
Bottle of vodka? Yeah.
Bottle of vodka. Yeah. Like, where did that come from?
I gotta say, Justin Hammer is a great host because he's like, let's give him options.
He did say we have everything.
That's right.
So here you go.
Whatever he wants, he can get. And so apparently there is a much longer version of this scene somewhere. Favreau sort of implies that there's a longer one. But then we get to a different conversational gambit. We've talked about, war and family and legacy and Russian proverbs, and there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on. But no one's talked about a bird.
Oh.
So this is what Ivan puts out his one demand. He wants one thing from Justin Hammer in order to do this work for him. I want my bird.
Now, just so we know, we're not playing the sound because the bird has not actually appeared on screen.
No, the bird is
Just
not
FYI.
here. There is no bird. They're just
bird's not
talking
here.
about the bird. And
Now-
so Justin is very confused by this.
I think this is such an interesting. Okay, and for those of you who are listening, are like, are you serious? You think this is interesting? Yes, I do. Here's why. First of all, Ivan, he obviously gets very serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this him breaking his own character? Like, I want my boy. And we'll get, and Justin's reaction, which is great because Justin almost breaks his character where he's just like, so that, what? You want a bird?
You want a bird?
And you can see it. Sam Rockwell does it great. Yeah. His whole facial expression is like, whoa.
Like, we're so close to signing this deal. Like,
I'm offering you. I am in his mind. I am changing your life entirely.
Yeah.
I have just offered all of this to you. I broke you out of jail, by the way.
Yeah, remember that?
Gave you salmon carpaccio, and you just all of a sudden you put the brakes on everything, and you said you want your bird, and oh, by the way, you speak English.
Yeah.
What? No, I love that. And then, you get to the whole thing where he's like, and then he immediately just in that fraction of a second goes from what to, okay, fine, I'll get your bird. I'll get you 10 birds, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Ivan then slams the table. I want my boy.
My bird.
Well, what's going on here? Because to me, this is Ivan. Whenever I've seen this movie, which I do enjoy, I always wonder, is this him? If there's one thing that he can embrace with any sentimentality, it's not his father because his father's gone. It is that bird. And so for him, it's his, I can't believe I'm going to use the Linus analogy.
Oh.
It's the blanket. Is the bird his, and of course Linus from the beloved character of Peanuts and Charlie Brown. Is that what is going on here? Or is he just trying to show a thing that, hey, I'm going to play with you even more and I want to see how many hoops you will go through for me.
No, I think this is honesty from Ivan.
Right.
I think he really does want to bird. However, where you see Linus in the blanket, I see Buffalo Bill and Precious.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. I think this is the one sort of humanizing thing about Ivan, who's like a Russian slab built for revenge, but he also loves his bird. And just like Buffalo Bill was a good pet owner.
Okay, so wait, let's just pause right there.
Hold on a second. Buffalo Bill has his negative qualities, I admit, but obviously a talented tailor, but that's beside the point. But
okay,
good pet owner. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Whoa! In case you're missing the reference, we just in minute 47 of Iron Man 2, we just came into a discussion where we're not sure which entertainment metaphor applies more appropriately: Peanuts or Silence of the Lambs. What? That's the title of this episode, by the way. What? Oh my goodness!
Obviously, this was something they wanted to do. They wanted to have an animal because Mickey Rourke actually is a huge animal lover. Like that is one of the things he is like, and he is so much so that he has the name of one of his dead dogs tattooed on his neck.
Yeah,
and you can see it very clearly in here. And that actually caused a little bit of a problem because the name of the dog that died, that he loved, that he wanted to tribute was Loki. So on his neck, on the right-hand side of his neck, he has a large Loki tattoo put on his neck. And Kevin Feige had a huge problem with this. He's like, whoa, we're just about to release Thor. Like next year, like in 12 months. Loki's going to be on everyone's mind. We cannot have our main character our main villain have a Loki tattoo. So they had to digitally alter it. So when you look at him in these scenes, you'll see it does not look like Loki at all. First of all, it's written backwards because he wants to be able to see it in the mirror. That was another Mickey Rourke decision.
Oh, okay.
But they don't do it on every shot. So if you look very carefully and through the rest of the movie, you'll actually see Loki written very clearly on his neck in a lot of shots because they didn't digitally alter it and all. It's just on like the real serious close-ups like this one.
But it's Loki spelled backwards on his neck.
Yes.
So you would okay.
Yes. Well, I'd say it's not. It's written in mirror language.
Mirror language, not spelled backwards. Right.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just for clarification.
Well, you can see what they did is they took the L and the O and they turned it into an M.
Exactly.
And that was honestly
they said they basically altered the O so it wouldn't look like a U or something. I mean, they tried to do it. But like I said, they don't do it on every shot because I guess it was expensive. And Jon Favreau was not pleased about this, and he said, it's fine here on home release, but he said when you blow it up on IMAX, it looks terrible. Because I think it was one of those last minute just smear it. Basically, the digital version of just like scratch it out on the screen.
Okay,
scratch it out on the negative.
I got to tell you this though. Mm-hmm. Had this happened later in the first 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they would have kept it, and they would have figured out a way to weave that into the lore. Let's say in a different parallel universe.
Joe Casey to write a comic book that it would that would explain the connection between the two of them.
Absolutely. Oh my God, no! Because I mean, think about this. This is still in this infancy of all this. Mm-hmm. And as you're right, like they know where they're going immediately. The very next movie, obviously, is doing this
filming. Yeah.
So, that could have been so interesting,
right?
Oh wow. Oh, okay. There's a totally new thing. Okay, well now my mind is blown several times in this episode because the Songs of the Lambs, Linus, and now we got.
So on Justin's line he's still trying to figure out this bird thing. Well, okay, nothing's impossible. Are we talking about? Is this bird back in Russia? And that's where the scene transitions.
No, that's for that. Yeah, we're not done with the minute.
We're not done with the minute. No, there's still a little bit more to go. But because we're gonna jump across the pond here.
Do you love though how Justin, and I appreciate this, he's a problem. I mean, one of the things that he does is he's a problem solver. I mean, obviously he's trying the best he can with his solutions, but in his mind he's already like, okay, it's a bird. It's in Russia. Dude, we're going to get whatever bird you think,
I know, we're just
think you're a bird.
It tells what the bird looks like roughly.
He's already in his head. And you can see it again because his demeanor switches. Like, okay, yeah, all right, we'll figure that out. Sure. Enjoy your salmon.
So then we move from Monaco all the way to Malibu. From Monaco to Malibu. The Iron Man 2 story.
Nice.
So we come back to it, and we're inside of Tony Stark's house. Now, it looks like there are 3 people in this scene, but there are actually only 2. So you have Pepper Potts, you have Natalie Rushman, and you have a dude standing between them. That is actually a statue called Le Homme qui marche the First, created by Swiss sculptor Alberto Giacometti. I find this interesting because this is he is a famous sculptor. I think he died somewhere in the 60s or so. But this is his work obviously lives on, and they wanted this specifically there. This is a copyrighted thing. So I've been going back and playing Lego Marvel The Avengers because you actually can go to Tony Stark's house and walk around in it, and this isn't there. And so I went to look, and in no version of Stark's house in any other media is that statue there, which I just find fascinating because it's a copyrighted piece of art that they had to get used with permission. Like it wasn't like a facsimile or whatever. So it can't be in any other thing unless they have to get the rights for it too. So if you play the video game, any cartoon, it will not be there. I think that's fun.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So what we see is Pepper Potts and Natalie are doing damage control over all the craziness that's spinning out of the attack in Monaco. So Pepper's on the phone and she says, yes, but the fundamentals of the company are still very, very strong despite the events in Monaco. And Natalie is on another call and she says, yes, of course. And then she covers the thing to try and get Pepper's attention and says, the AP wants a quote. And so that actually is where the minute comes to an end. But not before some product placement, because Pepper Pot loves herself some Dr. Pepper. Yes, that's right. Dr. Pepper, the taste that refreshes.
We've seen Dr. Pepper before. We mentioned it's fully stocked in Tony's workshop refrigerator.
Right. Product placement.
This one's pretty subtle.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle.
But it's there. Oh, yeah. It's cool.
Oh, but it 100% is there, yeah.
Just 2 other things just to note about this scene. Also, while Natalie is saying this to Pepper, you can hear it and just start to see a person has entered the scene in the back by the front door.
That's true. I think you can see a leg.
A leg. That's it. We don't know who it is. You got to tune in. But one other thing I just want to notice is, so his living room shot, we've talked about the design of Tony Stark's house. The exterior location is based on a real house. It doesn't really actually exist.
Right.
But the design of this house, courtesy of fancypantshomes.com.
Ooh.
There you go. There's a site that actually exists for this. They talked about one of the big structural elements of this scene is that staircase. It's one of those cantilevered staircases where they're floating stairs. The original design for this was going to be glass supported by cast aluminum cantilevers. So it would look incredibly more different. And what happened is that they realized in the production that it was not feasible to do it. So they used cast concrete steps instead. And they actually thought that it ended up making the scene look a lot cleaner. What I find amusing is what they tried to do has been proven completely possible, courtesy of Apple.
Oh.
Because there are several Apple stores that more or less do what they originally wanted to do in the scene with the glass staircase.
Huh. Okay.
So there
yeah,
you
I
go.
can see that.
There's nothing that some money won't fix or make possible.
That's the Apple motto, isn't it?
Jeez. Yeah, kind of.
But that, unfortunately, is where our minute comes to an end. But if you like product placement, boy, can we help you, because we've got our own merchandise. That's right. If you go to nextreel.com/merch, you can see all of our logos, and you can put them on whatever things you want to. And if you see something, a logo that you want on something you don't see, ask us. We'll put it on there because we're shameless.
Wait, we'll do that?
Yeah. As long as the company will do it for us. I mean, obviously, we can't put it on like living things. So,
yeah. And plus, we won't take it. You can't submit your thing.
No.
And then we play. Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't want.
Let's be slightly vague about it, because we still want people to go to there and look at stuff. We're not here for full transparency. We're here to make money on merch.
Just buy some of the stuff, please.
But you also can buy Marvel Movie Minute masks. Mm-hmm. And if you do, then every mask you buy, we will donate one to a frontline worker. And so you get something and they get something. I mean, that's kind of a pretty good deal, right?
Because we're trying to save the world here, everyone. Please.
Right. And you can do it by putting our face on your face. But there's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's stickers, magnets, all kinds of stuff. Whatever you want. We're shameless. So thank you for listening. We're going to be back as the damage control spin doctrine comes in, and really the big mystery you're wondering about, whose leg is that? You'll find out in minute 48. Enough said.
Bye.